Good morning, Casper. That's a good boy. I just wanted to show you guys the progress that I've made emptying out my freezer and fridge. This is what it looks like now. This is the most recent video clip that I have of it. As you can see, there's just some ground beef and some sausage that I have. And I found some video clips from a couple months ago and then again some more from January. So I'll show you the progress that I made. By the way, this meat is really bougie. I didn't buy this ground beef. This was replaced by the Instacart driver. But all that's in here is ground beef, sausage, and some frozen veggies in the side door. And I'm going to show you what it looked like a couple months ago. This is what my freezer looked like back in January. As you can see, it's full to the brim. Food would often fall out onto my toes whenever I would open it. It was very frustrating and overwhelming whenever I was trying to figure out what to eat. And it was just too much. So this is when I started the Pantry challenge. And I did not realize it would take me this far, that I would still be working on it. But I'm pleased with the progress. And my hope is to each week fill my freezer with things that I want. This is my freezer at the end of February. I've made a lot of progress. As you can see, it's about half empty from what it was in January. And it really takes some discipline to focus on food you already have, because I find joy in going shopping and buying food and deciding what I want to eat. But there's something freeing about opening your freezer and things aren't falling out on you and you can decide what you want. So that was the progress up until February. This is the progress in March. As you can see, I've eaten about 75%. And I continue to work on it through the month of March. And here we are at the end of April. This is what it looked like when I left to go on vacation. It felt so good to leave and come back to an empty freezer and to think, like, what am I in the mood for? What do I want to fill my freezer with? I've got a few things in there. My goal is to eat through it by the end of the month. And I'm saving money doing this. I'm saving money because I'm looking at what I already have and I'm not going to the store just because it's what you do twice a week and you buy stuff and you eat it or you don't eat it and it sits in your freezer. Speaking of leftovers, I'm just going to show you all the ways I used the taco soup that I made. I ate it more like a chili this time. I put less broth, but here I am just warming up some of the taco soup. This is probably my favorite way to eat it. I put it on one of those large Mission tortilla wraps and I loaded it on there with the greens, the power greens, the cheese, the Tillamook shredded cheese, and I think that's it. Just the greens, the cheese, the chili, and I wrapped it up and made a meal out of it. And here's the wrap. Once I wrapped it up, it's more like a burrito than a wrap, I guess, but it was good. I'm not the most expert wrapper, but here it is with the cheese. You can see kind of sticking out in there. I enjoyed making it this way several times. This is the more traditional way that I make it. It's just kind of like the chili with the corn chips on the side. Sometimes I'll use Frito chips instead of these tortilla chips. When I wanted to pack it to take to work, what I would do is put it in one of these containers. It's about half full. And then I pack the container inside one of these ceramic bowls so that when I get to work, I can dump it out into the ceramic bowl and I'm not microwaving my plastic. And when I packed it to take to work, I added rice instead of the corn chips or the burrito just because it was easier. And then I would mix the chili with the rice when I microwaved it. It was just easier and less messy. I packed the cheese in a separate container so that I could add it at the end after I had microwaved it. And here it is with the rice all mixed in. You can't really see the rice, but this is what I guess you could call chili rice with shredded cheese. And the last way that I eat it is with mashed potatoes. Right now I'm using these instant potatoes that I have. I like to use homemade mashed potatoes, but sometimes you just need something quick. And I need to use these. They've been in my pantry. So I'm going to make these mashed potatoes, and then I'm going to add the chili on top. Alright, just going to heat up these green beans. Just going to add a little Tony's as usual. These are just the green beans I pulled out of my pantry, and I added a little bit of whipped butter. So, items I already had to go along with the chicken strips that I bought. Dinner's ready. I've got the Tyson blackened chicken strips with this Bolt House Honey Barbecue Ranch I've never tried. Tonight will be the first try. So I've got 1 serving of that. I've got green beans, just plain green beans with some butter, and a little leftover tomato. After our movie day on Saturday, my friends brought stuff to make sandwiches, and we had sandwiches, and no one wanted to take home the tomatoes, so I offered to give them a home in my belly. So a little salt on there. So a nice little healthy, simple dinner. I've got more green beans if I want, and I'm sure I can find something if this ends up not being enough, but I'm not super hungry. I ate well today, so this will be good. One night I ordered DoorDash with a coworker. We ordered from a local Italian restaurant. I got the gnocchi. I hadn't had that before, and I'm not sure I'm even saying it right, but it was really good, and I'll definitely be trying it again. I finally splurged and invested in a Brita filter. I got the Brita Long Last. What I like about these is you don't have to soak the filter ahead of time, and that's just really convenient. This is where the water goes. Let me figure it out. All right, so I'm gonna, so this whole piece, this top piece pops out, and there's a little booklet, little instructions. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of wash this out before the first use and take it from there. It has been washed, and set this. Struggling a bit. There we go. There we go. All that education. I can't even put together a Brita filter. No, it's just kidding. It's pretty easy. So there it is. I'm gonna add the filter. So I guess it just has this one line here. So I'm just gonna that was easy. I think the other one I used to have, it had to like be popped in. There it is. It has been assembled. Just gonna add cold water. The water in Seattle is really good. I used to drink it out of the sink faucet in my other apartment without even filtering it, but I felt like in these older apartments, it had a little bit of a taste, like the pipe taste or something. So I'll just go ahead and start filtering water though, and then I'll see how it tastes once anything is filtered out. But it was really good. They have good water. I don't know what the source is, if it's the mountains, but it's good. So it's filtering pretty fast. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. I thought it used to fill up and then it would gradually filter, but maybe it's going to do that. I don't know. Let's see what this does, this little bit here. That's the water. See if it stops or if it comes all the way up to the top. Something's not right. I'm doing something wrong. Okay, So I emptied that out because I don't think I had the filter popped in all the way. So, oh, this is awful. So, didn't have the filter popped in all the way. So I'm gonna try again. Ah, there we go. Now it's gonna actually filter. Okay, I'm gonna let that filter and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge and then I will do a taste test. I've got this soap here. Anyone else use their soap up to the last bit? I have a big pot of soup. I'm gonna take out what's left and put in little containers and freeze some of the containers. But I'm gonna put this in the pot and let the soap suds settle in the pot to kind of soak the pot for a little while. And that way I'll have the plastic clean and ready for, ready to recycle, and I won't waste any of the soap. So. The Brita filter is definitely a success. The water tastes so good. I don't know why I waited so long to invest in a filter. I just kept buying the bottles, but this is really good water. And I'm gonna leave it in the fridge to keep the water chilled. This is definitely gonna save me some money. All right, so to make sure I don't waste anything, I'm gonna put, I was down to the very bottom, just like that last little bit you can see on the bottom. So I filled it up and I'm gonna let this dirty pot soak with this in there. And this helps me get every last drop from my soap so that I don't waste any. All right, there it is. Let that soap kind of make its way out and soak up all that taco leftovers.